everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. Battle report number 52. This is a 5,000 point battle. 'Tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Ogre Khans, versus Sex Panther of the Demonic Legions. Yes, this is my demon opponent, the one that's been out of town for far too long. He met up because after kicking my teeth down my throat, he wanted to give me the opportunity to set my jaw back the way it should be, the bully. But this game actually took place a little while ago. I hesitated posting it only because I'm trying to stretch it out with the holidays and work and traveling for the holidays and everything like that. I don't have any other battle reports in the pipe. I don't really have anything left in the pipe, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to get another battle report up. This is nothing to do with the game or anything like that. It just has to do with the holidays and the way things are working out this year. So please don't fret. Please don't think I'm going anywhere. Please don't think I'm done or anything like that. The holidays are just kicking the crap out of me, and my battle reports are going to suffer. But I hope by the end of the month they have another one up. We'll see. We'll see. But until then, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this battle report versus my fatty backs against, well, demons. And yeah, so enjoy. Here's my list, and I don't think there's been any changes since the last game, but if there is, hey, maybe you can be lucky and spot it, because I don't frickin' remember. I've got my Khan, Maximus. He's my general. He's got the Hardened Shield, Talisman of Greater Shielding, Charm of Cursed Iron, and I gave him Horde Master. This is just to give him a 2-up armor. He's there for leadership purposes and to bring the Charm of Cursed Iron to my huge unit of Tribesmen, the Good Old Boys. That's really it. I'm sorry, Leadership 8. He doesn't have Leadership 9. Then I've got my Shaman, Skaz, Skaven and AZ. He's got 3 extra spells and the Demonic Heart, and he uses Shamanism. Very simple, very clean. I know a lot of people don't like magic in the game right now. They don't see a reason to take it, yada, yada, yada. Hey, to each their own, as long as you're having fun, whatever. I couldn't imagine not having Skaz with Shamanism in my list. Damn the consequences. I've heard the arguments. I don't agree with them, but hey, whatever floats your boat, whatever you got to do. I'm loving it, and I kind of enjoy people taking less magic now because it makes it easier for me to get my spells off. Next up, I have my new and improved Khan. He's still my BSB. He has the exact same kit. He's got the Axebreaker Gauntlet, the Dragon Mantle, the Talisman of Shielding, and Spine Splitter. But as you can kind of see past the words, he got a paint job. That's right. My wife finally sat down and finished him off, and she did a great job. I love the hand-drawn Tremendous on the BSB flag. That is flawless. Plus the battle paint down his face there. Oh yeah. Khan is looking pretty badass. Speaking of badasses, here's my Mammoth Hunter, Lord Tremendous. He's got the Ogre Crossbow, the Razor Blade, the Armor of Fortune, the Aurochs Charm, and Headhunter. Yeah, he's on his War Teddy, which is his Tusker, and yeah, oof. I love this kit on this model. Absolutely love it. I like it so much, I'm actually toying with running a Wildheart army just with him running around with another couple of guys just like him. Let's see how that works. Might give it a shot. Next up are my core choices. I start off with the badass Brick, my 12-by Tribesmen, the Good Old Boys. They have a full command, Iron Fists, and the Banner of Discipline. You may not see, well, actually, you will not see them in this list as pictured here because I have outsourced them to be painted by a really, really good painter at my local club. So hopefully come January, I will have a full unit of painted guys. I am working on it. My wife, well, I'm not working on it. My wife is working on it, and people I'm paying are working on it. But damn it, I'm trying to get paint on these models one way or the other. So you can go at ease the rest of the holiday knowing that hopefully my ogres will have a paint job soon. Then I have another unit of 5-by Tribesmen, Skaz's Spazzes. They have a banner and Iron Fists. They are completely painted too. My wife finished painting those guys. They came out really, really good. I really like this unit. Works great with Skaz. But it's a bad angle. This picture was taken at a bad angle by me, and I apologize for that. I'll get a better one as soon as I can. For my special choices, I have a Sabertooth Tiger, Bow Wowzer, and I have another Sabertooth Tiger who doesn't have a name yet because he doesn't last long enough. Then I have 2 units of 5x Scrappling Trappers. One, of course, is the favorite pets. The other ones don't have a name yet because I haven't thought of one. I don't know if I'm going to keep them in the list. I do plan on reverting to 4500 to practice for Adepticon, which I'll be going to. Yay! So I don't know if the Trappers are going to be able to make it into that list, but we will see. And as you can see, they have been painted, so that's awesome too. And then I have my 5x Mercenary Veterans, the Corpulent Bastards. They have a Banner, Musician, Iron Fists, Lethal Strike, Bodyguard, and the War Standard. This is my face-melting unit, the meat grinder that is the Merc Vets. I really like this unit a lot. However, I have been toying with trying out, what's it called? Tusker Riders or whatever they are, and Tusker Cav, and in my Wild Heart list I couldn't take the Merc Vets, so we'll see what happens. Time will tell. For my powder keg choice I have a Thunder Cannon of Doom. And then for my Chain Beast choices, I have my Frost Mammoth, Rufus! The guys on his back carry a couple of Ogre crossbows, but who the hell cares about them? Rufus is the main show right here. God, I love this model. He's awesome. And then I have a Rock in the army. This is Elf Eater, and he is come back into the army. I don't have a character on him anymore because it's just way too expensive. But instead, I have a rider on him, just a regular guy. He's got a lance, and it's Shyhammer. Yeah, it's not the model I'm actually going to use to represent the Rock. I have a proxy for this game. I've ordered the Ullmans from the Mears Miniature line, and I plan on using a big-ass, muscle-bound orc to represent Shyhammer, and it's going to be glorious. There's going to be weights, there's going to be ambulances, there's going to be tank tops, there's going to be overbearing muscle. It's literally going to either make you sick or make you horny, or a combination of the two. Either way, I cannot wait to get the conversion done so I can show it off. I'm very excited. But yeah, speaking of very excited, that's it for my list. Here's my opponent's list. I'm going to play some music. Feel free to pause it whenever you'd like to see what he took. Alrighty, here are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. Of course, Chilling Howl is on Rufus. And here are my opponent's spells, which is a rare treat because I rarely remember to get my opponent's spells. And I didn't remember in this game. My opponent asked me if I want to take a picture. I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably do that. So I believe he got the Hand of Heaven and Smite the Unbeliever for this game, which probably good choices. Glad he didn't get Wrath of God. And here's deployment. Okay.
Are you ready for
So as you can see, I get to go first, so I just do what my normal deployment is. I mean, I throw the cannon up on the side, up on a mountain, or a hill anyway, and then I got Lord Tremendous on the flank. I got some trappers in the forest in the middle there. I got Rufus, a dog, my Merc Vets with my Khan in the middle there. Behind him is Skaz and his Spazzes, and dead center is the good old boys with my General Maximus. I've got Elf Eater, Shyhammer, and Bow Wowser on the right flank. In the ruins up top there are my other unit of trappers, so I've got 2 pieces of terrain trapped right off the bat. Very excited about that. And really my plan is to move across the table and hopefully either bait him into unfortunate charges or use my trappers and or my Sabertooth Tigers to divert him in such a way that I can get beneficial charges. I need to charge him. He's got a lot of stuff that's very good at close combat, including that big scary demon, the Scourge of Wrath. I have no idea what I'm going to do against him. When he put him across from my cannon and Lord Tremendous, I thought, well, put as many holes in him with the cannon as I can, maybe hit him up with the trappers, and then send Lord Tremendous in there to hold him for as long as he could. I mean, I really don't have an answer for that thing because it's terrifying. Nothing in my army can take it one-on-one, especially if it's at full health, so all I can do is hope. And, well, you'll see how that goes. Other than that, that's pretty much it for deployment. Here's top of one after movement, and I came up aggressive. I decided to more or less ignore his cannon and his dogs and his siren riders or whatever they are. Because, whatever, you know, my trappers are there. One unit's going to probably deal with them. If not, I'm going to get a fortunate charge on them and hold them up maybe. Maybe, I mean, they are just trappers, who knows. Bow Wowzer kind of goes in that direction. But for the most part, everything starts conglomerating in the middle because I want to cause a traffic jam on my opponent's side. If I can get his chair to go through the trees, that'd be great. If I can slow up his big units of infantry, that'd be great. If I can throw his Scourge of Wrath in the forest, that'd be great. I know he's coming for me. I just don't know how he's coming for me. And so I'm trying to make him traffic jam himself the best I can. So all of my stuff goes towards the middle. The cannon stays right where it's at. It just looks directly at the Scourge of Wrath because everybody knows where I'm shooting. And that's it. The only thing other than that moves is the trappers in the ruins shift over to the right a little bit because if something charges them, I want them to go through the trapped ruins, and I also want them to be out of position for a little while. So that's it for movement. During the magic phase, I get Cheapskate back on the table. My opponent let it go. Oh, it was glorious. I was able to put him right behind the Siren Riders or whatever they are. Only an inch past the table edge, but he's right there. He's got that breath weapon, and I can't wait to use it on some strength or toughness 3 cav. Oh, it's a beautiful spell. Nothing else happens in Magic, so we go over to shooting, and I roll to hit the stupid demon general, and I misfire 1. So, plan B, throw everything at the damn thing and hope that I do some wounds to it. Damn it! I really don't have an answer for it at all now. Over here, Cheapskate exhales onto the ladies and takes down 2 of them, which is outstanding. Oh, for a free model with a breath weapon, it doesn't get any better than that. Oh, love that model. And with it being too soon for combat, here we are in bottom of 1 after movement. My opponent, not stupid, he moves up cautiously. The only thing that charges is his Hellhounds, and they make it into my trappers. I stand and shoot, and I don't do anything. He goes through the ruins, and he doesn't fail 1 dangerous terrain check. So there goes 80 points of trappers for nothing. But you know what? The Hellhounds are out of position now, and that's something. You know, hey, you got to hold on to the small victories when everything else goes wrong. His Sirens fail their March test, I believe, and that's why they moved up so slowly. His cannon just kind of repositions itself slightly. It just kind of turns in place or whatever to shoot at the Rock Elf Eater, which I totally expected and respect. The rest of his stuff, his big unit of Slaughterers with his Demonic Engine right behind it, come forward to go after the good old boys, which is fine. They're close enough now. I'm charging with the Merc Vets, the good old boys, and the Elf Eater. And if even one of them makes it into combat, so be it. At least one of them did, and I'll send in support as quick as I can. His Harbinger of Change on a disc comes up way too far forward. I thought about charging him, but at the same time, the Slaughterers are more of a threat. I can deal with his magic, his little caster another way. And then the Tallyman and the Pestilent Beasts, they come up, and I'm going to have to bait them with either the dog and or trappers to just keep them away while I deal with the Slaughterers and the Demonic Engine and possibly the caster. That's my plan for my next turn. Of course, his Scourge of Wrath comes up looking at Tremendous. Tremendous can see him. Tremendous is going to have to do the hard sacrifice next turn in order to give me a chance at winning this game. But that's it for my opponent's movement. There's an action shot of his Hellhound slamming into my trappers, who gave their lives for basically a redirection. Oh well. Nothing happens in Magic, so we go into shooting, and he fires at my Rock and does 1 wound. And my opponent was introduced to the Rock Skeleton special rule, which cuts all multiple wounds in half, rounded up. He rolled for 2, so the Rock took 1 wound from a cannonball. I think I'm going to like the Rock. We'll see. Maybe I'll put a character on him again one day. Not today, but eventually. We go into combat, and I do nothing to the Hellhounds, mainly because the only Trapper to survive wasn't able to wound them, which I didn't expect him to. He flees! I lose this combat by a lot. Charge and 4 wounds to nothing. I lose by 5. He auto-breaks, and he gets away. He actually rolls like an 11 or a 12. The Hellhounds do not catch him. They do not fail any dangerous terrain checks. Again, that's 10 dangerous terrain 2 checks. 1 for the ruins, 1 for being trapped, that he has not failed. Sex Panther. 80% of the time, his dice work for him every time. And yeah, that's where we end up after the combat. But that's good because, like I said, now the Hellhounds are really out of position, and that's something. I am going to lose my trappers, but it was worth it. So with nothing else in round 1, we go over here to Tapa 2 after movement. And as you can see, these stars are starting to align. I charge with the Elf Eater, I charge with the Good Old Boys, I charge with the Corpulent Bastards, and all of them make it. I didn't roll lower than a 10 for any of the units. Oh, baby. Oh, as you can see, everyone is in base to base. So that really frees up any problems I might have with the Slaughterers. So I make my move with the rest of my army. Lord Tremendous charges the Scourge of Wrath, and he makes it because it was either he charges or he's going to be charged, and I'd rather get my impact hits. I did try charging the Scourge of Wrath with my Thunder Cannon. I figured, you know, an extra charge, extra impact hits, down a hill, maybe I'll get lucky, and no, my cannon didn't make the charge. I actually rolled like 2 1s and a 2. It was really bad. But, you know what, with all the other charges I made this turn, who the hell am I to complain? I believe Cheapskate charged into the back of his cannon and made it, which is possibly awesome. Not really sure. My Sabertooth Tiger on the left there goes and blocks the Tallyman from being able to get over into the center. I didn't want him to charge Skaz and the Spazzes. I didn't want to get into the, what's it called? Mercenary veterans or anything like that, and I was hoping to kind of block up everything right there. And if his Tallymen go into the forest, he'll be taking dangerous terrain checks until either I kill them all or he kills me to death. One of the two. So either way, it seems like a good plan in my head. Rufus comes up to support. Skaz and his Spazzes get close enough to cast some spells. The trappers in the forest move to the left just to try to get the hell out of the way of the Tallymen that'll probably overrun. And yeah, other than that, the last trapper on the right there flees off the table, and that's it for movement. There is a great picture of that charge. Everyone making it in. As you can see, those aren't my models in the middle there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this combat. I know this makes me a bad person for enjoying this, but damn it, if this is wrong, I don't want to be right. There's a slightly better picture of Cheapskate slamming into his my opponent's cannon, and that's good. I don't plan on killing the cannon, but if I could stop it from shooting for a few rounds, that'd be great. And there's a better picture of Lord Tremendous making into the Scourge of Wrath, and my cannon choosing life over suicide and not making it into that combat. So, oh well. During the magic phase, I get another totemic summon off, and since Cheapskate's already on the table, I got to use my Cthulhu model. Oh, man, and he's in range of those fast cav riders. Oh, the breath weapon's going all over him. Can't wait. Nothing else happens in Magic, so we go over to shooting, and Cthulhu bellows 11 strength 3 hits into the little fast cav chicks and destroys them. That wasn't me. That was Cthulhu enjoying the kill. And then we go into combat, and it's brutal. I think my BSB ends up in a challenge with his BSB. I think my BSB is able to kill his BSB, but my BSB takes 3 wounds for his trouble. However, the rest of the combat, I mean, impact hits alone, I think I killed 12 guys, and then we swung, and it was spectacular. My opponent flubbed pretty bad. He did go before me. He's flubbed really bad, as you can see. I think 1 Merc vet took a wound, and that's it. Just he couldn't hurt me. And I hurt him bad. I think he had 4 or 5 models left. He loses this combat by like 17. He vaporizes after he rolled. You know, we did it all right. And everything overruns. The Rock had to, and he runs into the forest and does nothing. The good old boys slam into the demonic engine, and the corpulent bastards get a hold of his damn caster. This couldn't have gone any better if I wrote it in a book. over here it did not go well. Not because of my dice roll, and I actually put like 4 or 5 wounds on him. My opponent just made every single save he needed to make because he's Sex Panther. 80% of the time, his dice work every time. In return, Tremendous takes 3 wounds. He's holding on by a thread. But the positive thing is he's holding him here for another turn. I am going to lose him. That much is decided by the gods. But at least he's out of the game for an extra turn, beating up on Tremendous. So if that doesn't spell out heroic, I don't know what does. And then over here, Cheapskate, he does his best. He does get a wound through on the cannon, which is awesome. But then he gets his face caved in for his troubles, and he dies. But you know what? He took out a couple of those fast cav. He stopped this cannon. Well, he didn't stop the cannon, but he got into the cannon, put a wound on it. Not bad for a free unit. Well done, Cheapskate. Well done. And then we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, because top of 2 has had its fun. As you can see, there is some his Tallyman take the bait, go into the Sabertooth Tiger chaff and get a hold of him, but he did so very clever on my opponent's part, so that his Pestilent Beasts could get into the flank of the Merc Vets. I didn't see that, I gotta be honest, and when he called it, I was like, oh, well done. What can you do? He outsmarted me. Other than that, everything else he has is in combat, with the exception of the Hellhounds. They move forward again just to get out of the ruins, and his cannon moves around so he can shoot at Skaz and Aspaz or possibly Rufus. That is about it. There's a better picture of his Pestilent Beast slamming into the Corpulent Bastards, and his Tallyman slamming into my Sabertooth Tiger, Sabertooth Doggy, I guess. One is good, one is not so much. You decide. So during his magic phase, he gets Smite the Unbeliever off on me, which sucks. But he ends up lowering my strength and my toughness by 2. And if you don't know what that spell is, you roll a d6 one at a time. For either strength or strength or toughness. And for every 4 up you roll, you negative their strength and or toughness, depending on what you're rolling by 1 until you stop rolling 4 ups. And he rolled 2 4s for strength and 2 4s for toughness. And so my bastards are less corpulent than they were a moment ago, which is gonna hurt a lot here. I'm not gonna lie, but I still believe in them because I have to. His cannon misses, so we go into combat, and Lord Tremendous gets his face caved in. It was inevitable, it was unfortunate, it broke my heart. But, the Scourge of Wrath kills him, and what can you do? Needless to say, the unit of trappers that was within 6 inches of all that noise did not like watching Tremendous get ripped in pieces, and they fled. And they fled right where you see, blocking Rufus's charge and everything like that, but they do pass their dangerous terrain going through the Tallyman, so that's good. We go into combat over here, and the Tiger's able to kill one of the Tallymen before he dies a horrible death. Which sucks, but that was why he was supposed to do that. He was supposed to be chaff, and he did his job well. He even took a Tallyman with him. Well done, doggy. Well done. The Tallymen adjust just like this. They don't overrun or anything like that. They just combat reform afterwards to face towards Rufus and stuff, which isn't a bad choice at all. And then we go into combat over here. My BSB is able to drop his disc character, the caster that he had, no problem at all. My 2 remaining mercs were able to put a little bit of damage on the Pestilent Beast, but they made every single save. In return, though, they did like 5 or 6 wounds to me, and I made all but one of my saves. My 5-up armor saves, and I made them, except for 1. So as you can see, my bastards have 1 more wound on them. Holy crap. I lose this combat, but that's fine. I'm stubborn, I make my test, I turn to face him, and that's the way combat is now, but holy crap. The bastards holding in, because I should have 2 dead right now, minimum. Got lucky. I'll take it. Over here, impact hits do more damage than anything else. I do lose a tribesman, and 1 takes a wound for running into this big demonic engine, but if any unit that I had was going to be able to take this thing one-on-one, it was this one. I do 3 or 4 wounds to him or something like that, and I win this combat. He rolls his demonic instability check and rolls just well enough that this thing has 1 wound left on it. So I'm in it for another turn, but at least it's not shooting at me or charging me or anything else like that. It's got a hell of a unit to chew through, and I'm enjoying this combat, so it's going to work out, I think. So with that all over, we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and there's a little bit. My Cthulhu totemic summon and my dog get into the cannon. My dog charges, Cthulhu just makes it. Elf Eater just kind of turns to look over to cannon because I don't believe that Cthulhu and the dog are going to do anything but slow the cannon down. And I'm going to charge my Rock into that cannon and try to take it out before it takes anything else out. Skaz and Aspazis turn to look at the Tallyman because I need to do something about them. Rufus turns to face him just simply because I'm not going to be able to get him out of the way. I don't want him, to move too far away from anything, so I just kind of turn him to face the Tallyman and accept their fate. I also want him in the force so that they're not stubborn, so if I do win the combat, he can't, rely on Steadfast to save him. And then I send my cannon into his Scourge of Wrath for the same reason I sent Tremendous in. Maybe I can do a wound or two and hold him there for as long as possible. That is it for movement. There's a better picture of my cannon, my Thunder Cannon slamming into the Scourge of Wrath, which is a suicide mission, but a mission nonetheless. And there's a better picture of Cthulhu and Bow Wowzer slamming into this cannon. And like I said, I don't expect him to do anything to it. I just want him to stop it from shooting. Because if my last game against this opponent taught me anything, it was that this thing is super accurate. He has no magic and his shooting is in combat, so we go into combat. And the guys actually do really, really well. My opponent flubs. Bow Wowzer and Cthulhu together are able to do 3 wounds to this thing. I don't remember exactly who did what. I don't have my breath weapon anymore, so I did not use that. And I was still able to get 3 wounds through on the cannon, only taking 1 on Cthulhu. Charge, rear, flank, and 3 wounds to 1 wound. I win this combat by a lot. And the cannon explodes. I was not expecting that at all. I was so not expecting that now Elf Eater's out of position. This is awesome, though. I couldn't have asked for anything better. This is great. After combat, Cthulhu overruns, and Bow Wowzer turns to face the Hellhounds. I'm going to try to keep them out of position for as long as I can. And then this combat, the good old boys were able to slip that last wound through on the demonic engine and topple it over, which is out flippin' standing. And post-combat, they turn to face this direction because I don't know how this combat against the beasts are going to go against the Merc Vets. They're still -2 strength, -2 toughness, and I don't think I'm going to get as lucky with my armor saves. So they turn to face like that. Yeah, so we go into this combat and things take a mighty left turn for me. As you can see, my BSB dies, 2 of my Merc Vets die, and in return, I do nothing. He makes his saves, what can you do? Oh, it hurts. I'm no longer stubborn because my con died. My BSB is gone. I lose his combat by a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds I think he does to me, and I have a Banner War Standard. So I lose by 4. I need a 4 with no reroll, and the Corpulent Bastards break. Can't fault them for it, can't be upset about it. Needed a 4, didn't happen, and the beasts slam into the good old boys. That's not terrible. I should be able to beat them to death pretty well. I mean, that's a lot of wounds they have to chew through. So I have a chance. The Merc Vets did get away, so they could possibly rally and do something. They are facing the Hellhounds now, so that might be useful. So all is not lost, just a little bit of pride. Then over here, I do 1 impact hit that fails to wound. The Scourge tears the cannon to pieces. Oh well, it was a nice attempt. So we go to bottom of 3 after movement, and things have turned on me a little bit. The Scourge of Wrath reformed himself to face Rufus, and he charged. during his turn, which, who wouldn't? Rufus said to hell with that and fled and got it away. The Scourge of Wrath tried to redirect into the trappers and failed. He actually would have failed his charge against Rufus, but hindsight is 2020. Rufus tears through Skaz and his Spazzes, who fail their break check and have to flee from the closest enemy unit, which at the time, I believe, was the Beast of Pestilence, or Pestilent Beasts, or whatever. So that's why Skaz and his Spazzes are fleeing dead south. The Tally men or whatever, they charge into the trappers. The trappers stand and shoot. I think they actually kill a couple of them, but they get hit and they're so dead. My Merc Vets rally. And my Merc Vets don't rally. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Hellhounds turn around to face. He's worried about tearing them through the ruins and taking damage, so he's turned to face them. And that's really it for movement. So not a bad one for my opponent there. There's a better picture of the domino effect. Rufus is fleeing, Skaz and his Spazzes are fleeing, and of course my trappers stood and shot and are now in combat with the Tallymen. So, yeah, this one turned on me quick. There is no magic, there is no shooting, so we go straight into combat, and the Tallymen beat the trappers to death. I was wrong. The damage they took was not from stand and shoot. It was from the dangerous terrain checks they took for going through the forest. That's it. Needless to say, trappers die, and we go over into this combat, and again, I'm not able to do anything to his Pestilent Beasts. That's not true. I do a lot to him. He's just making all of his saves. Sex Panther. I'm telling you, the guy is both loved and cursed by the dice gods. Don't know what to do. He's making all of his saves. He eviscerates 2 of my tribesmen. I lose this combat. I'm steadfast and I stay, but I'm terrified because they've only got an 8 leadership. Oh God. So we go over here to top before after movement, and things go a little bit left field. Not terribly, though. The Merc Vets rally, which is great. They turn around to face. Elf Eater runs around the side there in order to either deal with the Tallyman or the Scourge of Wrath, whichever comes first. Cthulhu runs into the forest just to try to get around the tribesmen and get into that combat if he can. Rufus fails to rally and continues to flee, and he ends up right where he's at. He bounces through the impassable terrain and I believe takes 3 or 4 wounds for his trouble, because I don't believe he went around it. I believe he went through it, which would hurt anything. And thank God, Skaz and his Spazzes rally. So this is going all over the place. That's really it for movement. Everything else I have is already in combat. Nothing happens in Magic, and there is no shooting, so we go straight into combat, and thank God. Oh, the Dice Gods decided not to bless Sex Panther this round of combat. I kill one of the beasts, put a wound on another, and take no damage in return. I actually win this combat. Oh. My opponent rolls his demonic instability and rolls like a 10, and the rest of the unit vaporizes, and holy God. But at the same time, that unit was impressive. Oh my God. Just tore through everything and gave me a real run for my money against the tribesmen. I'm just glad that his luck finally... I'm glad we hit that 20% of Sex Panther. So here we go to bottom of 4 after movement, and the Tallyman slam into the good old boys. Who didn't see that coming, right? What I did see coming was his Scourge of Wrath flying forward to get closer to the combat, but I didn't think he'd go there. Gives Elf Eater a real good charge into him. Maybe he didn't know exactly what the Rock could do. That's fair. Maybe he didn't care, because this thing's been tearing through everything it's run into so far anyway. But the Merc Vets, the Elf Eater, and Skaz and the Spazzes are eyeballing either the Tallyman and or the Scourge of Wrath. His Hellhounds do come around the corner a little bit, but again, he doesn't want to march because he doesn't want to go through the terrain and take DT checks. He's worried about that. And that's really it for movement. There's a better picture of his Tallyman slamming into the good old boys, and this should be a really good fight. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. His hellhounds charged Rufus, who fled off the table. He bounced back through the dangerous terrain, took 2 more wounds, or 1 more wound. I think he took 1 more wound. He was still alive and fled off the table. So, yeah, Rufus didn't have a great showing this game, which was unfortunate because he's capable of so much more. Just some bad leadership roles. He's just a big scared puppy. That's all. And then we go into combat. Yeah, because there's no shooting or magic we're talking about. As you can see, things go extremely well for me. My tribesmen are able to do enough damage to win this combat, and this is what it looks like after he takes his demonic instability test. He's got about 13 guys left. I've got about 10. So that worked out. My Merc Vets should possibly be able to get in here and help me solidify this combat because I've shifted. Because I won this combat, and yeah, hopefully in a turn, these guys will be a distant memory. So here's top of 5 after movement, and we go all in. Elf Eater charges the Scourge of Wrath to get out of the way of the Merc Vets. He makes it. The Merc Vets charge into the Tallyman, and they make it. The Cthulhu goes after the Hellhounds just to give him something to play with that's not worth anything. Bow Wowzer runs up because I honestly don't know what the hell to do with him, and I decided not to charge Skaz and his Spazzes into the flank. No, wait, no, I did try to charge Skaz and his Spaz into the flank of the Scourge of Wrath, and I failed. I'm kind of used to that. Whatever, it happens. So that's really it for movement. It's a nail biter. There's a better picture of Elf Eater and Shyhammer slamming into the Scourge of Wrath, as well as my Corpulent Bastard slamming into the Tallyman. During the magic phase, I get Awaken the Beast off on the Rock, giving him and his guys on top +1 strength. Anything to get wounds through on this guy at this point, you know? Unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, I threw like 4 or 5 dice at it in order to get the spell off, and it goes off, and I ended up rolling Overwhelming Power, which resulted in a miscast 15, which is the highest miscast I've ever rolled so far. Yeah, miscast 15. Outstanding. Skaz does not take any wounds, but through amnesia, I do lose Awakening of the Beast, which kind of sucks, but at least, you know, I didn't take any wounds yet. And then 15, Strength 4, Strength 5 hits later. 2 guys are dead, and, maybe Skaz did take a wound. I don't remember, but, yeah. I do pass my panic check, so that's something. So with the magic phase over, we go into shooting and nothing happens there. So we go into combat and we're able to defeat the Tallyman, which is huge. Needless to say, the good old boys and the Corpulent Bastards are just waiting their turn to deal with the Scourge of Wrath. It's looking like I might be able to pull this one off. And then in this combat right here, finally, the Elf Eater and Shyhammer together are able to put 3 wounds on the Scourge, 3 or 4, which is huge. That's more than anything else has been able to do all game. In return, he takes 4 wounds. My opponent was only able to hit twice, but he did 4 wounds because he's a ridden monster, so what can you do? I think I lose this combat, but he's stubborn 8 and sticks. But man, finally I'm putting wounds on this damn guy. So with that over, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and there is none. Okay, that's a huge lie, and I apologize. His Hellhounds charge into Cthulhu, and that's it. So there's almost no movement. There's a better picture of his Hellhounds hitting Cthulhu, and as you can see, he finally failed a couple of dangerous terrain checks going through the ruins to charge him, which kind of worked out. So I guess it's better than nothing. There is no magic, there is no shooting, but there is combat, and that's where we are. And Cthulhu gets ripped to pieces, yeah. Yeah, the dogs dogpile on top of him and show him his vital organs before he passes on from this realm. And it is what it is. And then over here, the Rock gets ripped to pieces. He only had a couple of wounds left. The guy only had to hit and wound once because they do multiple wounds too to ridden monsters, and he's dead. But the Rock took this thing down to half strength, maybe a little bit better, I can't remember. I know he did at least 3 wounds, and that's huge. Better than anything else in the army did, and it died a legend. Scourge of Wrath doesn't even bother to reform. He knows what's coming and stands there like a champion and accepts it. So here we are on top of 6 after movement. I charge with the good old boys, I charge with the Corpulent Bastards, and I charge with Skaz's Spazzes. And guess who failed out of those 3 units to make their damn charge? That's right, none other than Skaz and his lame Spazzes. Oh, well, at least the real fighters made it in there. You know what? I like Skaz and his Spazzes, if only because of situations like this, where it's like, there's no way he can fail. Oh, challenge accepted. Meanwhile, Bow Wowzer just runs up to play to get in the way of the Hellhounds. I don't really understand why I did that. There was no reason for it because it's top of 6, but maybe I forgot what turn it was. Who knows? But that's what I did, and yeah, so Bow Wowzer's being sacrificed for no other reason than the Hellhounds like kibble. That's it for movement. There's been a picture of the real fighters making it into combat against the scariest damn thing in the game. During the magic phase, I get Savage Fury off on my unit. It was, you know what, every dice I get to throw at this thing is a bonus. So it's only going to be like 3 more. I don't have to worry about a terror check, so whoop-de-doo. But yeah, I need every advantage I can get. And I no longer have Awaken the Beast because I caught Amnesia. And I was also wrong yet again. Skaz did take the 2 wounds from the miscast as well. So it is what it is. So we go into combat, and I'm not able to do anything to him. He issues a challenge. I give up my unit champion. I should have said no and just fallen back, but I gave up my unit champion. He eviscerates the unit champion. I win this combat still because of the charge and the flank and the rank and the banners, but he makes his check no problem. I think he literally rolls like a 3 or something. It's like, damn it! And yeah, so we're stuck in combat like this still. And here we are at bottom of 6 after movement. The only thing that happens is the Hellhound slam into Bow Wowzer, and that's it. There's about a picture of his Hellhound slamming in the Bow Wowzer, and that's not going to go good for him. We go immediately into combat, and I'm proven right. Bow Wowzer gets murdered, and that was stupid on my part. There was no reason to sacrifice him. But I'm a giver, what can I tell you? We go into this combat over here, and again, I'm not able to do anything to him. In return, he's able to take out one of my tribesmen. He wins this combat, but both units are able to make their break check. And there it is. There's the end of the game. I got nothing left. That Scourge of Wrath, I think, could have walked through most of my army. Later on, I checked the points on him. The way my opponent has him kitted out, is worth almost 1,100 points by himself. So that actually makes sense why he's so badass. He should be. For fifth of his army, a little over fifth of his army, he should be pretty badass. And he was, which means now he's a target. I need to kill him. Had my cannon hit and wounded, maybe I would have. He has 3 wounds on him. He only had 3 left. It's a possibility, but, you know, if. Needless to say, it looks like a pretty solid victory for the Ogres. I'm not 100% yet. I hadn't done the points at this point. But damn good game, and I'm kind of excited to get into the recap. So let's do it, because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So after totaling up all the points, it turned into a victory for Lord Tremendous. I got 3,726 points out of him. He got an even 2,400 out of me for a difference of 1,326 points. Woo! I ended up losing my Khan! Lord Tremendous, both my Saber Kitties, all of my Trappers, Rufus, and Elf Eater, who took Shyhammer with him. All in all, this was actually a pretty brutal game, and close in the end. Only 1,300 points separated us, which isn't a lot at the current point values. You know what? This was a damn good game. The Totemic Summon beasts or whatever that I was able to get on the table really changed the game. Killed off his fast cav, blocked off his cannon, and in the end kept his Hellhounds out of the fight. That was huge. That was really huge. I love that spell. Oh, my damn cannon misfiring and missing a charge, both in turn 1 and 2, just back-to-back failures. That really hurt a lot. Although, honestly, with the exception, if it had hit and actually wounded the damn Scourge, maybe I would have been able to kill it, but that's only maybe. And honestly, if it made the charge, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, because he would have challenged, Lord Tremendous would have had to accept, and that would have been moot. What can you do? Scourges of Wrath are amazingly difficult to deal with. And I like that. I like the challenge. Rufus fleeing off the table like that really wasn't part of the master plan. But it happens. It happens. Monsters have a big footprint, and so they have to take a lot of panic checks, unfortunately. And Rufus likes to fail his about as much as Skaz does. So what can you do? How about that mass charge, though, in the beginning of the game on the Slaughterers? Again, I know that makes me a bad person, but my army slaughtered the Slaughterers, and I like the irony. Elfeater did really good. Shyhammer and Elfeater, that's a pretty solid combo. They held up well against the Scourge of Wrath, helped out against the Slaughterers. I can't complain. That guy's sticking around in the army. Whether or not he becomes a character, I don't know, but we'll see. Hey, anything's possible. And I almost got the Scourge. I got him down to 3 wounds. Ugh, personal best. But you know what? This was, like I said a few times now, a damn good game. I mean, just brutal, great close combats, and some real upsets on both sides of the table. It's a damn good opponent. Dude's been out of town for months and comes back like a frickin' champion. What more can you ask for? Definitely looking forward to our rematch. However, that might be a little while. Like I said at the beginning of the video, with the holidays and everything and work, I'm traveling a lot. I'm going to be out of town, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to get my next game in. So please bear with me. The channel's not going anywhere. I'm still big in the 9th Age. Don't worry. It's just the holidays. Everyone relax. Real quick, guys, just want to say a thank you to everyone that supports my channel financially through PayPal, Patreon, and other means. I really do appreciate it, and I do have a decent amount of people that help me out that way financially, and I thank you guys, all of you, so very, very much. Not everyone lets me thank them the way I'd like to on my channel, but these are the individuals that do. So, Alex of the Vale Renegades, South Florida's Gamermancy team, Daniel Jolson and Caillou Choi, thank you guys so much. And everyone that wants to remain anonymous, thank you guys as well. I hope I continue to be worthy of your patronage. And if you're interested in helping support my channel and support my hobby, support my addiction, please go check out my Patreon account and donate. Anything will help. Anything is appreciated. Or go to PayPal and throw nickels at me. I don't care if they're in rolls. I'll heal. It's cool. I'm a whore like that. It's not mandatory. If you don't want to, that's cool. Still love you. But if you do, I love you more. You get to be a favorite. So think of it that way. And of course, if you donate and you would like me to say something on one of my videos, I will, happily, as long as it's not too inappropriate. Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Battle Report number 52 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.